Hi, everybody. Welcome. Hi, Dr. Gail. How are you today?
Hey, Terry. Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. And thank you, everyone, for being here. We really appreciate it. And I know that there's a lot going on in the country right now, and not everybody has power. And so we feel really blessed to have all of you here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And what's going on with you these days? We were just talking about the storms and the planets.
We're fine with the storms. We just had limbs and water and whatever. And of course, there'll be flooding here in a couple of days because all the water comes down this way. But it's new. It was the western towns of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia that got hit hard, which I have never ever in my lifetime known that area to get hit by a hurricane. That hurricane took a different path than I've ever seen before.
Yeah. It really did, didn't it? And Teresa Ford's here. I'm glad to see you, Teresa. She's in Florida. She's on the East Coast, but
So it's just like me on the East Coast, we
yeah,
were spared.
yeah,
And
yeah,
we're the ones usually getting it.
right. Yeah, it was. I was shocked to see it up in Asheville.
Yes. The
Just
footage for
shocked.
Asheville is terrible.
Yeah, yeah. It's such a beautiful area and such a spiritual area too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, you know,
Yeah,
part of me
this
felt,
is known as the Metaphysical Center for the East. Asheville is. So, yeah, it's amazing that wondering what that town looks like.
yeah, yeah. Annie Bear says the light is changing as I walk every day. It is, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Debbie, you're on the West Coast of Florida and you lucked out. I'm so glad you did because
Yeah.
it is a lot going on down there. And I know that we've still got a lot of people from subscribers and um, members and readers, a lot of wonderful people that are um, still, under the weather, so to
Right.
speak.
Well, they
They
don't
don't
have
have power
electricity
or,
and they can't check in with us.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So hopefully we'll see them in a few days or within a week.
I hope so. I hope so. Lori saw videos of Asheville this morning, and it's sad to see all the flooding there. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just weird. It's like it doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make any sense that path that storm took.
Yeah. Ginger Sky's heading out to the coast today.
Oh, good.
Um, oh, Cheryl, you're in Northwest Florida and you had to be vigilant. Yeah, I remember I was in Florida during Matthew
Really.
and we didn't get hit, or was it Andrew? It was Andrew. Sorry, it was Andrew. And I think um Matthew came later. Anyway, whatever, but it didn't hit so much the Palm Beach County. It hit farther south in Dade. And on farther south of that. But when we went up north in the Northwest, it really got hit by the next tornado. And or the next hurricane because it was all the tornadic activity that came through.
Right. I remember, I think that was Andrew that came up here, and
Yeah.
everybody from Florida had to evacuate here to South
Yeah.
Carolina a lot. And it was funny. They all evacuated Florida, came here, and then we were hit harder than they were. So, so all the hotels and things didn't have any electricity, so they had to all pack up and leave and go back home.
Yeah. 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 It was weird. I remember being on the highway and, it's just, you can't move. It was a big one coming in. So lots of love for everybody. Yeah. Those wooden houses are not built for hurricanes, are they, Rossi? Yeah.
I can't imagine any of the houses in Asheville being built for hurricanes.
Right. Yeah. All those beautiful old fashioned houses, and the Biltmore is so beautiful.
Right.
And the energy in those mountains is so beautiful. So, anybody that wants a reading, please make sure that you put it in all caps. CC did. Thank you, CC. And that helps out a lot. And I've got you highlighted too, Annie. So, anyway, we were going to talk about
You pull it up.
Holding our bag, holding our bucket.
Yes, it's removing toxic energy. You want me to read it?
Yes, please.
Okay. This is about removing your toxic energy or dealing with toxic energy. And it says, if you sense or experience someone giving you a bag full of their negative emotions, keep imagining yourself handing the bag back, which is, I think, hilarious. And it says, their emotions are their responsibility, not yours. And because you're handing back what's rightfully theirs, you'll have more space to give them the love they need. There's nothing wrong with saying, I'm sorry to hear you feel that way. Just know I love you and I'm here for you. So, yeah, I thought that was really funny. And this is on this Gaia, this Karma Gaia site that I get once a day. And they're talking about removing toxic energy. And that was one of them. And I thought how practical that was. Because how many, especially, I would say, especially family, when you're dealing with family, and we're going to be coming up these holidays, and they want to dump on you, they want to, complain, and you just hand that baggage back. It's like it's coming to you and coming to you. You just hand that bag back because it's not yours, and you just have more space to give them love, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I heard somebody talk about loving people where they're at.
Yeah.
A long time ago, and how, when you're on your path and you're witnessing and you're observant, um, and those old relationships that we've had, that we still love those people and they're still in our lives, and loving them exactly where they're at because that's their life. And no judgment. That judgment thing is hard with family too sometimes, isn't it?
It is, but I wanted to also just talk about how to remove that heavy or negative energy when it does come your way. First off, it says stay away from toxic society, which we're all kind of in that right now.
Yeah.
Consider setting aside a block of at least 2 hours to be alone, and they're saying with God or with Source, whatever you want to call it. And I think that's important when you're trying to remove toxic energy, is to be alone for 2 hours. And of course, it can be praying. Of course, praying is like talking to God, and meditation is listening to God. That's how I interpret it.
Me too.
So for me, I'll go meditation more than praying, because, and it's whatever, which one you need. If you need to talk it out or do you just need to listen, I'm more of a listener, so I'll go to meditation. And then the second one was breathe with intention. Intend on each inhale that you pick up heavy or stuck energy. On each exhale, it leaves your body and transmutes with the universe, which is another one. So going, breathing with intention. Get in touch with your emotions. What emotions feel heavy? Feel to release. Breathe them out. Throw them out. So there's a lot of breathing here to help getting rid of the negative entities and emotions and energy. And then it says, write your heavy emotions, negative energy, what you feel. You can even burn the paper and release the energies by blowing paper ash in the air, which is good. And I know everybody's heard me talk about my bitch book, which that I use that all the time, as getting rid of that heavy emotions and energy. And so anyway, that's good. How you can be taking back your energy and removing negativity. And I thought it was important about the 2 hours spending with God when you're in something that's really been heavy and been bombarded, with all this political stuff that we're going through. Detox from it. And, we're coming up to the holidays where you're going to be dealing with your family. So 2 hours of detoxing, that's either talking to God through prayer or listening to God through meditation. Either way you want to do it, I think is a good way to do that. And of course, all these other ones, the breathing exercises, and also writing it out and potentially burning it. So I think we all need to be arming ourselves more with these practices right now, since the energy seems to be getting heavier and heavier and heavier.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And there's also sometimes we don't realize that our bodies are kind of in a frazzle.
Right.
I'm going to call it, and we might be rushing to get this done and get that done, and thinking, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that to make this right, or I've got to say this or say that, and really, if we just stop and abide and do that breath work, or just become aware of where our body is and what your heart's doing. Because a lot of times a breath work can really, really help, and what that feels like. But, and I see myself doing this sometimes, that I'm rushing to get things done to make things right because I feel something is amiss. I can sense it. And then when I stop and I start breathing and say, okay, what is that feeling? What's going on here? And then become present again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a few months later, here it comes again, that feeling. You go, whoops, there it is. What
Yeah.
do I do with it now? Whoops, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah. She's gone off the deep end again, folks. It's easy, isn't it? It's real. I mean, we're peeling away from the 2D as we anchor in a gazillion threads of 5D. Joy is a freaking magic frequency. I love that, Lori, Annie. Yeah, abiding has returned again and again, right, Lori? Yeah, abiding in how we feel. And I know everybody here is really cognizant of like using your crystals, using protection, using meditation, using maybe it's a walk in nature. But I know you guys know about that because you talk about that in the chat, or you have a lot of people here have a channel as well. So,
We have amazing, amazing people in the chat.
yeah. Yeah. And that's another good point, is that sometimes being in community
Right.
is huge, and we can't all be in physical community sometimes. So it's nice to be in a community of light. Yeah. Yeah. So beautiful. And I'm just going to say, hey, everybody, because there's a lot of beautiful people here today, and it's going to be hard to say hey to everybody. Or
There's a lot here. How many are already here?
44. But it feels like you guys are big.
And they're talking a lot, which is good.
Yeah, they're carrying a lot of energy in. So I've got quite a few starred. I do want to, somebody had some really good comments that I wanted to bring in. Yeah, the light's changing for sure. There's a different frequency coming on board and a different time frame. Definitely. Okay. And then
Well, Annie Bear, I just feel like it's not just the light; it's everything's changing the atmosphere for some reason. Something's going on with all that, and light is part of it. Of course, we're getting shorter days, but I just think that the feeling, everything's kind of changing.
yeah, and it's interesting with this storm, everybody said it feels different. This storm feels different, and it was different.
Yeah, it was definitely different.
So different. Yeah. Tina Mack, I love this. Nice one, Dr. G. I once heard, do like Sheldon does, take everything literal. Take people literal, then no judgment, protect your energy.
Oh, that's good.
Ooh, that's excellent. And that brings up being neurodivergent. And what an honor that can be, really, because we've got so many kiddos coming in and adults that are finding out that, they've always been quirky and it's okay.
Well, we are in the quirky group.
Yeah. Yeah. We are definitely connected to our quirks.
I know we found our tribe.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Clarence, I love this. We don't realize that Mother Nature and Earth are rattling because we are not taking care of it or each other. This makes sense. Yeah, I definitely feel like it brings us together as a community when we have these natural disasters, as sad as that is.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of do need to be shook. And it's just like shaking your body to get rid of old toxins and old modes of knowing and releasing. A body shake is huge to be able to do that. And
the ETs are just appalled at how we're so polarized, and our homelessness and our food deserts that we have. They don't understand it. They just don't understand it.
Yeah. Yeah, how we take care of each other. Liz is in an island in Mexico, and
Oh,
Helene passed through there. Luckily, she wasn't as big as she was when she got to the mainland, but of the U.S. But yeah, it's a lot, man. Yeah, I do think, Janet, that it is bringing in more love and hope. I think that's the intention that Gaia has, and she's like, she's going to shake us up until we figure it out. So,
shake us up until we come together and forget
yep.
the differences and look at what we have in common.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's interesting then because then we've got the ETs like just waiting on us, like
They
looking at the watch.
And that's exactly what they're doing. Just going, come on, give me a break. I just came here last month and thought it would be better. No, it's not. It's worse.
Yeah.
I'll do something next time I come back.
Yeah. Shenanigans. Hey, girl, I am going to be in that psychathon today at
Oh,
3:00. Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. All right, everybody. Well, let's get started then. Are you ready? Or
sure.
you want to talk about anything else?
I can't think of anything else. Can you think of anything else?
Not right this minute, but give me a hot minute.
I know. We'll bring one. Oh, my dog walker's here. So go ahead, Teri.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll talk. Um, there's a lot going on right now, you guys, and abiding in your heart for a minute and taking a breath in your heart. Just recognizing it, and as you inhale, feel love coming into your heart space, and as you exhale through your mouth and make noise if you want to. Most of us are alone. Nobody hears us. And just recognize that all that love is spreading to every cell in your body. So doing that before you go to bed at night and when you wake up in the morning makes a huge difference with how you connect to your subconscious mind and what your energy is like for the rest of the day or night. Okay. Are we?
I'm back. I only have 2 more days for the dog walker.
Oh, how's your knee doing?
I was doing much better,
Good.
so I'll be able to take up that slack
Yay.
on Monday. But it sure has been nice having her come walk the dog.
It really is, isn't it? I've got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Recovery.
My neighbor loves to come get my dog, and he's amazing. Okay, Debbie, 3 shifting veils. If you take questions, I would love an energy reading from my galactic family, please. And thank you. My energy has been off.
Oh, poor Debbie.
Yeah.
I think you just named a collective on the energy, and I have felt my energy off a little bit, but Debbie, what I feel like myself is I'm going through a humongous transformation, and I think you feel off when that's happening. And let me see if that's what's going on with you. I feel like that's what's going on you, and it's going on with a lot of us here. Is that what's going on? Yeah, I'll give him a humongous yes, Debbie. So I'm hearing 3 months. You're going to be kind of feeling a little off for about 3 months because you're going through a humongous transformation and a transition. And it's almost, they're showing me stairs, and it's like you're climbing the stairs, and you've been going like one step at a time, and now you went boop, almost to the platform. So, but there are some more stairs above that, but you just took a huge leap or in the process of taking that huge leap. So you're going to feel a little off for 3 months. They're telling me 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I love that. The stairs have been coming up in so many readings, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
The steps that we're ascending, like a stairway to heaven, kind of, you could call it.
When somebody was looking at me, they said, for me, the stairs are appropriate for me because they said, I keep going up 5D, up the steps, coming down to 3D, up the steps, going up the steps to 7D, coming down to 5, and I'm just running up the steps all the time.
Right?
I'm going, no wonder I get exhausted.
Yeah. 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 I got a retreat. Right now is the time. If your energy's filling off anybody and everybody, just give yourself time to abide and relax and see where you are. take a minute, and whether that's, 5 minutes to do breath work or 4 minutes and do your 4-part breath, your block breath, or, um, go for a walk in nature. Take a minute. Take 2 hours if you need it.
And also
Um,
seeing that their guides are going to step back step back a little bit while she's going through this. So don't panic over that, Debbie. They're still there. They're just not going to bombard you while you're going through all this.
right. Yeah, that's a great point because I feel like, and when we're going through ascension, we're used to having those constant downloads.
Mm-hmm.
And when we don't get them, we think, "Oh, am I, backsliding? Am I falling down the
They're
cliff?"
talking to me. I do that myself, and I know exactly what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, and I do, I usually take a video in the mornings of my guides when I'm
Oh, do
talking to
you?
them. Yeah. So, and sometimes they don't show up, the orbs don't show up, or they don't show up as many. And, it's really interesting. Anyway, I also got miracles for you. Everything's coming in. You might feel like you're out in the dark, but that just lets the light shine, Debbie. So, great readings. Phyllis, yeah, Dr. Gail is the doctor, and, she does do medical intuitive, but you do those once a month, right?
I do those once a month, and I'm probably going to be doing one. I might be doing one on Saturday. Yeah, that's one that takes a lot of energy to do that kind of show, and I can only do it for an hour. Sometimes I have to stop at 45 minutes because it takes the whole day's gone for recuperating from that. So
Yeah.
I do, and I do it about once a month. And I've been a little slack about it here lately because I had a knee injury, so I didn't want to be doing any kind of medical intuitive work while I actually had an injury. So it'll be back.
Yeah. Healer, heal thyself. Sarah Broyles, Back 40 Studios. Does my team really want me to build half of the palace system from my tail, or are they just checking I can hear them? Not saying no, but that's huge. Interesting question.
Yeah, let's see. I'm bringing out the pendulum for that one.
You right?
See, does my team really want me to build it? I'm going to get yes. Oh, Sarah. Yeah, it sounds like a big project, but I'm seeing that this project can take you 5 years if you wanted to.
Yeah.
So, but it is a yes that they do want you to take on this project, and also they're showing me that it's not as going to be as taxing as you think it is because it's so much energy work that you're going to be doing with and working with others with energy. So the progress of this will be much faster than what you're thinking. You're looking at it as a very daunting task, but in all reality, you know how to do it, and it's going to be fairly easy for you. But they're saying you can take up to 5 years to do this. I think they're saying that to me just to give you a sigh of relief. I think you're going to do it much faster than that.
Yeah. And tell them you want help. Ask all your guides just in your team, just say, hey, I need some help. Yeah.
And you have to ask for it.
Yeah.
They just won't automatically send it.
It is a free will planet.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah. Cece, my question is, did Grandmother Moon give me a healing? My brain is much clearer since the partial lunar eclipse.
It's a good question. I love Grandmother Moon. My dog, my channel's been named after my dog Moon. So of course I love that name. Did my grandmother give me a healing? I usually don't see people who have passed give healings. But let me check. Did your grandmother Moon give? I'm getting a no that she's not the one that did it. But you you definitely had a healing. But it wasn't from her, but she was, what they're showing me. They're showing me like she was the director. They're showing her with batons like an orchestra and going, this is, you go do this, you go do that. And so it wasn't, the real moon. Okay. But they're saying that, that it was some other entities that did the healings. For me, it's usually the grays and the tall whites that do healings. I'm not sure. Let me see if that's what did it. But she orchestrated it. Did she? Yeah. And that it was the grays and the tall whites. Tall white, one tall white. Usually the tall white's like the doctor, and the grays are usually working for them.
Yeah. I pulled a moon card, and that's I love that portal through the moon, and it's talking about the past and moon memories. So it does feel like it's somebody that you're connected to, like the tall whites,
Yeah.
coming in, helping you with that. So yeah, beautiful. Let's see here. Janet, rainbows and moonbeams. I love that name. Do my guides have a message for me?
Okay. Well, I'm going to pull out of my Starseed Oracle deck and just see what your message is. It says, fall into my arms. And it's going surrender, holding the opposites, extremes of life. Usually when I pull this card, it means somebody's trying to control every move that they're making, and they're not being able to progress further because they're trying to control every element of their life. And so this card is asking you to let go and to fall into my arms. They've got you. Your guides have got you. The higher beings, your higher self, everybody has got you. You don't have to be so in control of what's going on around you. And I'm so guilty of this myself. So they're trying to tell you, let go. It's going to happen. And you don't have to sit there and almost like, don't fret over it. Don't try to control it. Just let it happen. It's going to be much easier for you.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I got something really similar. The first thing that they were showing me is you playing hopscotch, Janet. So if you remember hopscotch, or if you ever did it, or how you feel about that game, because you do have to kind of contort into different jumps, right? You got the single, and then you got the double, and the single and the double. So kind of watching your steps and how you're doing things. And then I got stagnant waters. Like maybe you've just been holding on to things and not moving. You might have been feeling stuck. And so jumping out of that. I like that jump. What was that song? Jump, jump, jump for my love. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to get Phyllis had a question, and Phyllis, I haven't seen you here before, so I want to get you on. May I have a message, please? And thank you so much.
Hey, Phyllis, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
I'm feeling that I'm going to pull from the Whispers of the Ocean for you, your message. And, I'm just laughing at the card that I was seeing. Setting up parameters. Look at that fish.
Oh.
And, okay, assess your relationships and determine how they are aligned with your goals. Setting boundaries requires an honest evaluation of your present relationships. Whoa, is that important? I mean, that's almost like talking about what we're talking about earlier, that when somebody's handing you a bag of negative emotions, you hand it back to them. And so you're needing to set up parameters. You've got to really examine your life right now and get rid of, I'm not going to say you need to get rid of relationships, but you can distance yourself with toxic relationships, because you really don't want to isolate yourself and pull yourself away, because it can be family members that might be the toxic. You need to learn how to really work with that and put your parameters up and hand that baggage back to them, so you have more room for love to give them.
Yeah. She says absolutely, right? I can take that too, 100%. So Phyllis, I feel like you've got an inner knowing about this. Like you're already watching it. There's Ganesh. He's sitting on his pond, on his stones, and he's seeing the light. He's watching things happen. So you have that knowing that that's going on in your life. And then they get healing. So it's time to heal from that and let it go. yeah, confirmation for sure.
Yeah. And also become an observer of what's happening instead of letting your emotions and your body get into it. Pull yourself out of it and pretend like you are looking at yourself, having this interaction with the other people, and just pull yourself out of it and look at it. And you can pull yourself out to an observer position. Things will look different, and even you'll change, and everybody else will change around you. It'll be amazing what you'll see how everybody changes, and they're thinking, "Oh, she's changed a lot." But it actually is that you have turned into an observer. You're not emotionally involved in it, so you're not responding the way you used to respond, and so they'll tend to start bringing the energy down and better.
Yeah, it's interesting how the energy that we give out mirrors back, and it's like, maybe we know somebody in our life that always brings us,
Triggers you.
yeah, they always say, "Well, this is what you ought to do,"
Yeah.
or, "Change this and you'll be fine." Like there's something wrong. But we kind of brace ourselves for that sometimes, and we're like, "Whoa, here they come again." But loving them where they're at and just watching them do it, that's huge. That's a ninja move right
Yeah,
there.
you'll see the whole energy change in your own dynamics.
Yeah.
For something that simple.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's somebody else new. Zico. May I have a message, please? Also, I'm glad I found this live. The energy here totally flipped my mind back on track and reminded me to focus on positives and accept negatives without avoiding them.
Oh my wow. We should have you on the show talking.
Right? That's a ninja move right there, Zico. That is totally a ninja move.
Well, I'm going to pull from Angel Quest oracles on that one.
Okay.
So, yeah. So thank you, Zico, for bringing that energy and that message for us. And we'll do something in return. Let's see. Courage. Well, that's exactly what that took for you to do. Some courage. And Archangel Michael is granting you the strength to persevere. Preserve. It's giving you the strength to persevere. So I think you have taught a lot of us, or have helped support this channel and this chat to realize that we can have the courage to try these new techniques and try to, put this in practice. It will change the dynamics of your family and things when you do this, or your friends, or whatever you're dealing with. It might be even a spouse or a close friendship that's going awry or something. So, like strength. I'm a Leo.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got all sorts of blessings coming in right now, Zico. And they're coming in from above you, right? Just like stardust, but they're blossoms. They're flowers that are coming in. So you're going to be getting lots of ideas and inspirations. So, and I think that's, everybody can take that one. The ideas and inspirations that are coming in, because we are going into a new age. We're going into that new dimension, a new time frame, and there's new light coming in, and it is that starlight that's coming in.
Right.
So beautiful light coming in for everybody.
Yes,
All
Clarence.
right.
And, I love that Teri and Dr. Gail do this every Saturday. Actually, Clarence, we do it every other Saturday, but thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. Let's see here. Clarence. Oh, okay, Clarence. Dr. Gail and Teri, can you help me to understand why I have had my demonic dreams? They were scaring me and keeping me up.
Oh, wow. Clarence, the reason why you're having the demonic dreams is because your light is shining brighter out there, and they're seeing you. They do not want you to ascend. So they are coming after you, and you're, if you can learn how to invade in the, I'm going to give you an example. What happened my very first time it happened to me, that I had a Draco show up at a door, knocking on the door, and I had two people beside me, and I said, "Do not answer that door." Well, the next thing I knew, that they didn't answer the door, but he took the whole door frame and door and started pushing me all the way back. And I looked at those two people and said, "Well, I guess I got to deal with this. What bothered me about that was how flippant I was about dealing with it. And I wasn't scared. And so the very next day, I worried about it all day long because I knew it was coming back. And so what I did was call in all my help. And actually, Jesus and my angel and a team of angels showed up. And when that Draco showed up again, they took him and turned him into a red rose and took him off. So they took this humongous red rose and took him off. So Clarence, bring in your support system. Okay. Your heart was closed at one time, so much hurt and pain now, light beginning to grow. They are attacking me. Yes. And Clarence, remember, you are stronger than any negative entity that comes after you. Remember that. You can say, hold on just a minute. You can tell them to go away.
When they ring their bell. So, Clarence, I pulled some cards for you on that too. And remember protection, to call in your friends. So this card is about friendship, but see all the angels around them. I call in my crystal shaman, Reverend Saul, who used to be with us, and he's no longer on this planet, but he would call in 3 trillion angels daily. And I do that daily, and I always
I've heard you say that. I was going, where did you get 3 trillion angels?
Right.
I thought I had a lot of angels when I was getting rid of that Draco. And I've had several attacks along the way also. But when you said 3 trillion, I'm going, 3 trillion?
Yep. 3 trillion angels. Why not? And it was funny. One time we were having I do meditations Monday through Friday, you guys, our morning group. And we were doing it, and I brought in 3 trillion, and somebody said 100 trillion. I was like, okay, 100 trillion. Here they come.
Yeah. And also, Clarence, you might want to seek out help from somebody who deals with the negative entities. You might just need that support system to have actually somebody physically that you can talk to and tell you how to deal with it. There's a lot of shamans that do that they're experts in doing that kind of thing. I actually do that kind of thing, and Teri does that kind of thing. So you might want to have somebody to help you walk you through with it. And if you need that, but you have it with you. As I said, you're stronger than any negative entity or thing that comes your way. You just yell at it, tell it to go away, slam the door on it, whatever you need to do. You can do this, but if you do need some help navigating through it in the beginning, then seek out some personal help on that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And Janet Rainbows and Moonbeams is saying our
Oh no,
will come instantly if you call for him.
Yeah, I was going. Yeah. You stopped it for me for a minute there.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's not your fault.
Okay. Okay. Let's see who's next. Okay. Sharon O'Brien, I would like to know about my galactic energy, please. I've been off for about a year.
Oh, Sharon. Okay. I've got more questions about that, Sharon. Have you been just yourself been off, or you just been off from the galactic energy? Have you not been able to connect to your galactic family? Are you here, Sharon? Can you give us a little bit more detail on what exactly you're asking? Okay. I'm getting that your galactics are around you. And let's see, why you've been off for, and it does have that you've been off for a year. But is it, I would like to know if you're off from your guides and everything, or if it's just the galactics.
Oh, she goes, I am here. Guess I cannot connect.
With just the galactics, or all your guides and angels? Because they're all around you. And you have, it's like 5 or 6 of them around you.
Yeah. Yeah, I pulled some cards for you, Sharon, and I got she who flows. So look at all that energy. I feel like that is around you. It's connecting. I don't know if you've been going through a hard time or anything, but
No, I got it. I got it. She's,
letting go of something.
no, it's her, whatever chakra that is.
The crown chakra or the
one
Solaris?
that she's got too much um, energy. She's got too much electronic energy around her. You need to buffer. You need stones around your house. You need to buffer that. And this happens to a lot of us, that when we start ascending, that the electronics in your house, your phones and everything start bothering you. And I put on selenite. What is this? I never can remember what the name of this is. Shungite.
Shungite.
Yeah, it's shungite.
Yeah.
And you need to go ahead and, thank you, Teresa. Everybody knows I can never remember these names.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting is there's some connection here that you got some interference. So thank you, Cheryl, for putting shungite.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
So
I have mine here.
And then getting that, and I think I saw Annie Bear saying she needed to ground too. But anyway, you're needing to dissipate that electronic energy that's coming around you, like your televisions, your phones, your computers. And we just become more sensitive to it when we start raising our vibration. So that's what they're showing me, that you need to dissipate that energy that's interfering with that chakra. I'm sorry I interrupted you, Teri.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I agree. I loved hearing that. And the shungite, I keep one on my desk now because there are times when I feel like I'm flying up to the ceiling,
Right.
and just need that. Yeah. I love what everybody's saying. Let's see. Somebody said, Patricia said something about had a red-eyed being looking at me while sleeping years ago and called on Archangel Michael, and 2 of his angels escorted this being out of my space at bedtime. Now she has 7 archangels to surround her.
Good for you. You've learned how to deal with it. I really love that when Jesus turned my Draco into a big red rose. I mean, that rose was huge, like big, huge red rose, and took it off. I'm going, oh, well, I know how to handle that now.
Yeah, and sometimes we don't always go where we're wanted or invited,
Right.
Psychically.
Especially
So
if you're astral traveling. You might walk through an area that you don't belong or you shouldn't be there.
Yeah. So if you're doing remote viewing or astral traveling, just keep an eye on things and have your guides with you. And if you feel like you're not invited in a certain area, and you're not in your conscious, not perhaps in your dreams, I would definitely leave. So, let's see. Then we've got Seascape. Hello, beautiful. Am I connected to a star family?
Hey, Seascape. Of course you are connected here. You haven't gone running and screaming from this channel. So you know you're connected. Usually people who are not connected don't even identify with this channel. They go around running and screaming and what in the world is crazy people talking about? So
Yeah.
pretty much everybody in here has some starseed connections or DNA. So, and it's no different for you, Seascape. You have a very strong connection, and you have a strong connection to more than one star system and star family. And I'm seeing, let me see, because you have like 3 or 4 of them, and they're all different. But let me see if there's one that's going to step forward to say, this is where she belongs. Arcturian. This is where she belongs, Arcturian. Arcturus, and I get a huge yes on that. So there you go. But you're connected with, it's almost like you have the ability to bring, unlike others, different people together. You have this gift that you can bring different species, different people together and make them all feel okay, which is a wonderful, wonderful gift. So that's why you have so many different ones with you. It's because you're very comfortable with being with all different types of species, but your roots are Arcturian.
Wow. Seascape, I love that. And I love that you can bring people together like that. Sometimes we're born on this planet and we feel all alone, like we don't belong. But that might be because you got so many different species.
Right. She probably does feel alone because she's dealing with everybody else on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I love that. That's beautiful. Mej, MEG, MEJ. I would love a message from my galactic family. Thank you, Mary Ellen. Oh, thanks, Mary Ellen, for putting your name in there. I remember that sometimes. Not always.
It's nice when she did that. They're wanting me to pull out of my, which I didn't pull out, is my sacred geometry activation cards. Let me pull this out. Go ahead, Teri, while I pull this out.
Okay. I feel like they're bringing in something about remembering. And new beginnings. So it seems like you got a lot of balls in the air right now, Mary Ellen, perhaps, or orbs coming in. These can also be visitors, but something new might be beginning. And they were talking about giving yourself some space. Pardon the pun, but giving yourself some space to abide with that. And your spiritual practice is on the bottom of the deck. So just allowing yourself some time and some joy.
MEJ, I got the divine feminine.
Oh, that's powerful.
It is. And it says the frequency of divine feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. So what I'm getting, MEJ, is that you've been working more from the masculine side, that you've been like bulldozing or bullishingly going ahead forward, and they're wanting you to pull back and look at your emotions. And it looks like to me that you've just been so involved in whatever you're doing that you haven't been allowing your feminine side and your emotions to be, or you're looking at them. You're almost like pushing them aside, like pushing my feminine side. I've got to do this. I got to move forward. But they're asking you to stop and look at your divine feminine.
Wow. Be vulnerable, right?
Yeah. Be vulnerable with herself is basically what it is. It doesn't have to be vulnerable with people around her, but with herself.
Yeah. We get so good at boundaries sometimes.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a good problem.
Yeah.
Hi, Diana, oil painter. How are you today? Good to see you.
Wobble dancers. That's good.
Teresa, this is interesting. My teeth seem to be chattering for no reason at times. What might this be? Thank you.
It's funny that you say that, Teresa, because I'm going through a big change. And you're going through, we're all going through big changes, but mine is pretty big. And I am going through being very cold, which is weird. And then all of a sudden being normal, but then I'm just freezing. In fact, when my sister was visiting this weekend and I got really cold, I got out my toboggan and put it on my head. It's just started laughing. And I was freezing. And but let me see if that's what's going on. And I'm getting a big yes for you, Teresa. This is how it's showing up with you, your chattering teeth. And for me, it's showing up just being really cold and freezing. But it's all part of that same thing that we're going through. And so let me see how long this is going. Mine's been lasting for a couple of months now. And it looks like we have a couple more months to go. They're not giving me a timeline on this. I'm seeing at least 4 months. But it's funny that you should say that, Teresa, because I hadn't talked to anybody about what I was going through. When my sister's laying, she even took a picture of me. I had a blanket around me, I had a toboggan on. She's going, what is wrong with you?
Oh, and everybody here, so many are talking about having it too. Diana and Gina, and a lot of people talking about it. Also, another thing that I get, you guys, is I shake. And not my teeth, but like a body part.
Yeah.
And that somatic thing of having stuff inside your body that you're releasing at the same time.
Now,
But
I think, don't you think it's like the energy's coming in and you haven't found a way to release it yet that's making you do that?
yeah, we're upgrading,
Right,
and any old stuff that we're hanging on to, we're releasing.
right.
So it's like boom, magic time. Let it go, right? Hypnicity. Yeah.
Yeah, Teresa's saying it's so weird that she's usually hot. I'm normally hot too until whatever this is going on. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I just think it's going to be showing up for all of us a little differently because they are really upgrading us, and um, yeah, I just think that's what's going on, and we got a long ways to go with this.
Yeah.
Gina,
Yeah.
thanks, menopause.
Reverse menopause. I think we're yeah, we're reverse aging for sure. Um let's see here. Oh, that's interesting. Hypnicity. Did ETs take over my navigation in my car several years ago? Were they answering my questions via the colored lights on the wall?
Color lights on the wall. I'm assuming that's inside your car. Did the ETs take over the navigation system? And that's a big yes, they did. Were they answering my questions? And again, a yes on that too. So be interesting to know what kind of questions you were asking those, but I'm not sure about the colored lights on the wall. I don't know if that's in your house or in the car or how that does. Teri, you do it with getting a premier parking place.
I do. I do. I always ask for rock star parking. Um, that's that's my gig. But and I ask for a lot of help all the time, you guys. I'm like, okay, Dad, I need help with that, and Mom, I need help with healing. And I have specific people that I go to, or Archangel Michael, or
I do too.
Gabrielle.
I separate them. I just don't put it out there. I call in, like my dad, I call in for family matters and financial
Right.
things.
Same here. Yeah.
And my mom for like personal relationships. And so, yeah, I'm real specific on who I'll call in for certain things.
Yeah, but it feels like that colored light that they were bringing you was a upgrade, hypnicity. The new colors, being able to see them.
Or confirmation.
Oh, yeah, confirmation. You were asking for messages. Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, there's so many unemployed angels, Leah.
I was going to say, and I call him my angel. If you ever had an angel hug, that's the most wonderful thing in the world. When you need a big hug, bringing those wings around you. Oh my gosh, an angel hug is nothing better.
And if you want to have some fun with your angels, if you're in a healing or a meditation and you're sending like love and light to the planet or things like that, turn around and send love and light to your angel, and they just start laughing. They think it's the cutest thing ever.
Yeah. Well, my angel, her name's Gloria. When she came to me, she came in her angel form, but she has her human form, and she shows up with white jeans, white t-shirt, but she still has her big blonde hair. But there's this big light around her that's almost blinding. And I'm going, how do you think you're ever going to get away looking human or being human or acting human when that bright light's around you? You can't get past that bright light.
But you're probably one of the few that can see it. I mean, a lot of people don't see the light
That's
around
true.
people.
It's true.
Yeah, yeah, that's a gift for sure. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is a great one. Patricia Hernandez. Dr. Gail, you mentioned the Lyrans were coming to be personal spirit guides at Lionsgate. Cecil, the well-known lion shot by Hunter, came to me. Is Cecil really a Lyran? If so, a message. Thank you.
Let's see if Cecil's a Lyran. I'm getting no, he's not a Lyran. I'm getting that he's a Palladian. Now, Palladians and Lyrans are easily to mix up because they have a lot of the same feeling. Because when the Lyrans lost their planet or their star system, they spread out, and a lot of them went to the Pleiades, so they picked up the personalities of the Pleiadians a lot. But Cecil is a Pleiadian, and we all do have a personal guide now that came in. I'm thinking it was like November, sometime around there, that I was told that and I had been dismissing Lyrans for a long time, that we all had a Lyran, all light workers had a Lyran showing up that was helping us guide us to our next phase. So there you go, Patricia.
Wow. I do feel like they're very, this is an odd word, attainable,
Yeah.
the Lyrans. Like they're close and center, and easy to connect with. So
yeah, since they're standing beside you, that's what they told me. That we're standing beside you, and I'm going, we're standing by every light worker right now. And they all came in like an army came in when they came in to help.
Yeah.
And Earth had to be at a certain place for them to come in, so we had reached that point, and they just came in.
Well, we've talked about that, about seeing them around us in the physical form,
right?
And they are powerful, and they make you feel very demure and
they are, and they're so sensitive. Also,
yeah,
really sensitive to your own feelings and things you're going through. Maybe one of the most sensitive ones I've felt might be the Lyrans.
I like that. I feel like they're pretty shy. Like
Yeah.
you don't really make a lot of eye contact, but they're right there next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then well, we're almost at time. Do you have time for one more, or how are you feeling?
Yeah, we'll do one more.
Okay. Now I got to pick one.
Now you're on the spot.
Yeah. Sonia, are you here still, honey? Heavenly blessed honey. May I have a message from the galactics for me? Please and thank you.
Okay. I'm going to be pulling out the whispers of the ocean for you, heavenly blessed honey. Seeing both sides. It's for all of us. Take a step back and try looking at this from a different perspective. Well, that goes along with everything we've been saying today. So this is just reinforcing everything we've been saying, heavenly blessed honey, is seeing both sides, pulling yourself out of that, pull yourself into an observer position, and look at everything from a different perspective, which is, yeah, that's been the message all day long.
Yeah. Yeah. So this so fits you, evolution, and dimensionality. It's beautiful, Sonia. So you're changing and evolving as you move into becoming more multidimensional. And as the earth changes, as Gaia changes, like she's already changing, and we're just kind of catching up to her. But you're right there, and you've got that beautiful shell there. So really coming into your own. And she's become a great healer and doing amazing work. Yeah. And Leah, it's so good to see you here, dear. I'm hoping everything's okay where you are. So anybody that was in Helene's path, we're sending you lots of love and light if you see this. And if you don't see it, just know that we're holding space for all of you. So thanks so much for being here, Dr. Gail.
Well, thanks, Teri, and thanks everybody for being here.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Right. It was a lot of fun. Okay. And thank you everybody for being here, particularly everybody from both channels and everyone, all the moderators. So we love having you.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Making it a safe place.
Yeah. And we'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
Okay. Bye, everybody.